Alright guys, welcome back to another video. My name is TMNJ. Wow, I love that view. That view is so beautiful. Oh my god, that view is so beautiful. I mean, don't mind the sinkhole in the background, but that view is so beautiful. Oh my god. Sorry, I just had to glamour in that real quick. So, sheesh. Ooh, this is the better angle. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about some more astral traveling stories. And then I don't know, I just kind of wanted to see where it goes from then. But I also wanted to say that this YouTube channel won't just be towards astral traveling, but also towards motivation and advice and things towards a lot of other concepts. And I just want to vlog and just do so many. I want to do so many things with you guys. I want to share. I want to have this YouTube channel. I want it to grow. I want everything to grow and progress so that, I mean, I don't look at myself as an entrepreneur, but I look at myself as more so a person that has no fucking bounds. Literally, no bounds at all. I can do you can do whatever you want. That's why I always preach. You can do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, whatever you love to do. Literally, whatever makes you guys happy. Whatever, no matter what anyone the fuck says. No matter what anyone's opinion is, do what makes you guys happy. Hopefully, what makes you guys happy is nothing negative, but like, still. But so for one of my astral traveling experiences, I was out here. So I'll say I don't know. My guys will tell me how many experiences I'll be able to say to you guys. Now, mind you, as I said, I think I said it before. When I'm outside, my experiences are not the best. They're very quick, they're very fast-paced, they're not really eventful at all. And, see, what happened is, so I was like, hold up a second. Maybe, like, where was I? I was, like, right near my trash can. So, like, right in that area, right about. And I'm astral traveling, right? And what I see is, the first time, right, I see a woman, like I'm in this world, right, and I see this individual. Like I'm around these people who I guess were my friends in this parallel world, in this parallel timeline. And I'm like, all right, cool, you know? And so what I go ahead and do is whose dog is barking? Interesting. What I go ahead and do is I'm like the friends are saying, hey, mind you, it's like, it looks like we're in the literal Wild West. Like the place looks desolate to a certain degree, like just isolated. Like there's trees and all. Like, hold up a second. So you see all these trees right here? So imagine like there's it being like, I guess you could say fall, and there being like the orange, all the different colorations of, well, pigmentations of leaves, right? But then imagine there's like barely any trees though, like few trees, very few trees, and like there's a lot. Think of it like a movie. Like there's a lot of trees that, like, there's a lot of trees like going farther into the background, but there is like maybe one or two trees visible that I could see, right? And what occurs is, so I'm astral traveling, right? I'm there. And these friends are like, hey, that woman over there will give you the answers you want, you crave, that you desire. And I was like, huh? I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And I'm looking like, what are they talking about? And like they're like, like pushing me like over, like, go on. And I'm like, and I'm feeling very, not awkward, but uncomfortable. Feeling very, just like the sensation, the vibrational frequency I was feeling was very just like anxious, uncomfortably anxious. And what happened, I look over, right, and there's this woman. She looks like, and like I'd say like late 30s, early 40s, right? And she's wearing like this, what she's wearing is like a crow, like a dress like crow, like it was think about those like old shamans, right, from back in like the Viking ages, right, who'd wear like the animal pelts and all, you know, something like that. Like like her entire like dressing was like made out of literal just like crows, like crow feathers, and I was like, yo, that is, I don't like that. And she gave me this I could tell she was powerful. She was incredibly powerful, but not in the magic that I'd want to go towards. She was incredibly powerful in dark magic, I felt. And I was like, that is not what I'm going towards. And when they were saying, like, to go over to her, I was like, excuse me? No, I will not go towards such an individual. And then I came back. And I mean, when I came back, I was literally, like, looking in the same area that she was in when I was in that other world. And I was like, I came out loud. I was like, no. And then another astral traveling experience was, mind you, these experiences of mine, they don't, especially when I'm outside, they don't last quite long. They're very short. I don't really remember all that much. I'm not consciously aware of all that much. But what I do remember is, I remember seeing myself walking out of my room. Rather, I was walking down the hall, and then I remember seeing, like, looking down at my door, the front door, and I remember seeing a very dark pigmented man, and he had some sort of he had like a red shirt on. I couldn't necessarily tell his height, but he was like looking like out, like he was, because at my front door there's like, how do I word it? There's like a window-ish, like 3 windows, right, that you can like look through, right, to see into the house. And basically there's windows on the right side. There's small corridors though. They're small outlets. There's the right side and the left side, and he was looking on the left side, and he just was like, hey. And I'm like I looked at him, I was like, what the fuck? And then I came back, and I was like, that was incredibly interesting. Odd, but interesting. And then what's the next? Because I came back, and I was just like, wow, that was quite short. But then there was another experience I had where what happened? Shoot, let me sit down. I want to sit down and talk about this stuff. So, I feel so much better. So, next experience, what next experience will I tell you guys about? I'm thinking. Because there's been... So, one of the experiences was when I'll tell you guys that experience. So, basically, it was nighttime, right? And see, I learned that astral traveling at nighttime is not the best thing. That's why I like to do it at daytime, because it's like it's a lot better. Now, what happened when I was astral traveling at nighttime this one time was I had like binaural beats on. It wasn't the best sensation at all. And I learned that when it comes down to astral traveling, do not play binaural beats. Do not do that. Please, I would not recommend it. And what occurred? What occurred is I went to two places. First place was, you guys remember Alien vs Predator, right? The movie. So I was in this place, and there was like this sort of cage. Like it gave me like this sort of vibes that was like, what, like a weight room, but more so like a boys' locker room. So that's what vibes it gave me, right, for sports and all. And I was like, all right, cool. And so what happened is, I'm looking at, like, I'm just looking in like first person point of view towards. No, it was third person point of view. My bad, it was third person. I know. First I was in first person. Yeah, first I was in first person point of view, looking at things, and I see, like, it was an alien, and it was, well, whatever the species is called. Is it xenomorphs? I think it's xenomorphs, and yeah, I think it's xenomorphs. And what happened? I saw one xenomorph, right? I'm thinking, like, I literally, as soon as I saw it, I just got like a bit scared, because like I knew I knew these things existed. I knew they existed before I did this shit. I knew they existed. I knew it. I wrote, whether it be the xenomorphs or whatever species, everything that's ever been created out of nowhere, it all exists. All of it exists, literally. Let me say this: any idea that you make up exists, literally, in some sort of way. You can literally, even you can create the ideas. If you come up with these ideas, right, when you draw these certain creatures, right, you creating them, you putting energy into these creatures, you creating them, you can literally, you're making like thought forms occur, which then in the astrals creates these certain beings. So whatever energy you put towards these entities that you create, they become existent, literally. And what happened is, these xenomorphs, there was one, and I'm like, it was basically like, it looked like some sort of like, it looked like it was like, I wouldn't say it was dead, but more so like it wasn't alive to begin with. Like, it was like a trophy in a sense. Like, it just stood there as like a symbol of like, hey, these is like where xenomorphs are. This is like their lair, right? And I was like, okay, cool. And then, mind you, I'm hearing them binaural beats, and I'm like, bro, that is not funny. And mind you, the place is like dark too. The place I'm in is dark too. And I'm thinking at the same time, like, how am I able to hear these beats but also be in this dark place? It doesn't make sense. And it was an odd, very odd experience. And so what happens is, I'm looking at the water, right? And I'm standing in the water, right? And I just start to see the water begin to vibrate. Vibrate. And I start to get kind of like, what the fuck's about to happen type of sensation, right? And then I look down towards the water more deeply, and I go in the third person point of view this time, just to see like xenomorphs like swimming. And I was like, swimming? In the water? Swimming? And they were going fast. Like, it was like, I've seen 2, then 3, then 4 xenomorphs. Like, going, it was like, woo, 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 woo. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And it was such an odd experience that I was just like, okay, cool. But then, cause I'm thinking like, are they gonna like come out of the water? What's gonna happen? Like, I don't wanna, cause given xenomorphs aren't really the friendliest towards other species, I was like, I don't want to find out what happens if one comes up from the water. Cause it was odd. It was like when I was standing in the water, right? The way they were swimming was like the water went deeper than where I was standing. And I was like, that doesn't, it seemed very disproportionate, very odd, very, very, very distorted. And I was like, that's interesting. And then I was like, okay. And then I went to another parallel world where it was 2 individuals fighting, right? and both were scared. You guys remember? You guys seen Avatar: Last Airbender, right? In the Avatar Last Airbender, there's the Lotus, right? The Lotus individuals, the White Lotus, more so to say, and it features Iroh, Bumi, the Swords Master who taught Sokka, my bad, who taught Sokka how to fight with the sword. The individual who aided Katara in her waterbending mastery. The other individual who taught Aang how to firebend. Well, in the beginning, he basically taught Aang the dangers of firebending, more so to say. And so on and so forth, the whole White Lotus group, right? And then Uncle Iroh the general, right? Now, in this parallel world, I was seeing two White Lotus members, it looked like, fighting each other, and I was like, what the hell's going on? Now, one of them looked like Snoop Dogg. I gotta be honest, one of them looked like Snoop Dogg, and I was like, huh? And another one looked like Uncle Iroh in a sense, but not Uncle Iroh. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. And they were both just sparring each other, and it was a very serious sparring session or fight. It looked like, and what happened? Then I see them like it was like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was kind of funny to me how they both started like stumbling, right? And the guy who looked like Uncle Iroh, he seemed to have the upper hand, mind you. It was like it looked like they were in some sort of war, some sort of battlefield, because there was one tree. It was like a dead tree looking. It was like a tree that would look like it was dead, and then there was a bunch of just dirt and just black mud and just so bad. Like, well, I wouldn't say black mud, but really gray mud, more so. And you could see that it was like literally like a battlefield that had like a battle had happened, some sort of catastrophe had happened. Because there seemed to be like no life in there, like no life. And what happened next is all of a sudden one individual, like, he intervenes between the two fighting, right? And I'm just looking at third person point of view, like, what the fuck is happening right now? I don't think I ever went to first person point of view. I just was in third person point of view. No. I did go to first person point of view at a point in time, but I'm not gonna skip around though. So basically, the individual, they were both fighting, right? And so the individual intervenes, and I was like, okay, cool, right? And what happens next is, then it's like they're in this sort of place that you start seeing like white lines like go over like walls and all, right? Like they're boxed in, but like white lines start going all over the place. It gave me a very ancient sort of vibrational frequency. And I was like, interesting. And all three of them paused, and they were like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what's happening? And what happened, there were some good fighters. They were really good fighters, I'll say that. They were really experienced, really trained. But they were looking like, what's going on here? And then the guy who looks like Uncle Iroh, he went down, he bent down, there was just some sort of like, not pond, but there was some sort of fixture that was like a tubing in a sense, right? And he went down, like, and it was the stuff that he think about it like, you know when you're in a game, right? Or you know when like you see you know when you're in a when you're playing a video game, right? And you're doing something, right? Or rather, you get a power up, and then with that power up, you see like the white, or rather, sometimes you see the yellow illuminated like dots, like kind of like, I don't know how to really. It's like powder in a sense, kind of like going all over the place, like I don't know how to really describe it, but it was like illuminating powder in a sense. That kind of, but it wasn't like powder though. It was like some sort of resin in it, I guess you could say. That's not even the best word to use to describe it. It was, I don't know how to say it, really, I don't know how to word it, but yeah, and it started just to come up as he touched it, and he just took and he's like, and just blew it out, and he was like, and after that, there was like this pathway that just opened up, and it was all, mind you, between like towards the spaces of the pathway, all you saw was black space, like literal like space, right? I got the sensation that if you were to literally like walk off the path, you would be be gone, like you'd be lost in space, or something bad would happen. Nothing good would come from walking off the path. And then I got this other feeling that was like, it was a very divine feeling, because the pathway was white, it was pure white. And I was like, interesting. It gave me like an SAO type feeling back when Kirito and Asuna were in the dungeons fighting monsters, right? And, well, mobs more so to say. And it gave me that sort of sensation, but the sensation that it truly gave me was the Tree of Life. That pathway was leading them to the Tree of Life, literally. And it was quite interesting. I loved it. But yeah, so that was my astral traveling experience, and what I will be doing, those were my 3 astral traveling experiences. Mind you, after that experience, I kind of I literally was forcing my consciousness to come back to me. Because, mind you, my sister was like using telepathy, saying like, no, stop it. Like, you got to come back naturally. Because when you astral project and not astral travel, especially when you astral travel, it's best to come, because when you astral travel, as I've said it before, you're literally going through the timelines, right, of the astral realms. Now, the thing you don't do is you don't come back of force. Your consciousness comes back to you of its own free will, always. What's happened to me from literally wanting to come back to my body is astral sleep paralysis. That's what's happened to me every time, thus far. I try to come back, I try to force myself back to my body. I go through sleep paralysis, but the thing that occurs is that occurred for me is I forced myself back. Like I was forcing my eyes open. Like my eyes literally, I could feel my body, right, and my eyes were they were closed like this, right, and I literally was using a lot of strength to just open them up. I mean, a lot of strength I was using to open them up, because again, you're in a deep level of meditation. Your consciousness is not ready to come back to you yet, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, I've had a fucking enough. Like I've had three occurrences where I'm like, I've had enough. I'm coming back now. I'm just done. I'm just annoyed. I'm irritated. I'm done. I'm sick of it. I just want to come back to my body. And what I learned is when you astral travel, right, you don't force yourself back, or else there will be consequences. The consequence I realized was that I was really imbalanced with myself. I was feeling a lot of energies, different energies that weren't mine, but from other timelines, gathered from other parallel worlds that had different variations of energy surrounding those worlds, right? So I had a lot of foreign energies around me, and I was like, okay, that is not good at all. And at that point in time, I went ahead and I was like, okay, cool. And I had to basically cleanse myself and take a spiritual bath, a ritualistic bath, which is where I have had the water completely warm and hot, have my crystals and stones around me, and just meditate and just release the negative energy, any sort of foreign energy that I have over my body. So yeah, and it was quite an interesting experience. Now, besides that, yeah, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, let me just vlog and do some other shit, because I want this to be a whole journey with you guys, seeing everything I'm doing, like, like speaking about the chakras, speaking about awakening, speaking about so many different things. And I already have videos up, I know that already, but I will be editing those videos too, because I want to, like, you know, make them better, you know, because you're always getting new better knowledge towards doing things. So it's like I just want to do these great things, right? And just like I want to share all this information with you guys as much as I come across, right? But yeah, and I'll be doing some paintings too. See, some people, you know, fast track their paintings, right? No, I'll just be doing the painting right in front of you guys, having you guys see the painting, and then, mind you, as I'm doing it, so it's like you'll be seeing the whole process of my imagination, my creativity at work, right? But yeah, so that being said, I love being out in nature. You see, actually, what I will do is moon last night, so you see my mom's crystals right over here, stones and crystals, and you see my stuff over there, you know, my moon water, I have a plant growing over there too in the cup, in the glass, and then you see the, you know, the bees, the nature. You see all the beautiful sounds. My mom's orchids right over there too. I'll probably try doing some planting videos too, you know, for you guys to see my whole experience of everything I'm doing. Because I want my channel to be diverse and just all over the place, just talking about so many different things. But yeah, so I love you guys. I'll probably be doing some astrology sooner or later too. I'll probably be doing some tarot readings on YouTube too, sooner or later, something like that. I'll be doing pendulum readings as well. So if you guys want to go, I don't know, email me for pendulum reading, whatever the hell. Sure, like I'll do pendulum readings for you guys. But mind you, not for free though. On YouTube, that's one thing. On YouTube, that's one thing. But if not on YouTube, that is a price. My pricing for my pendulum readings to be done towards you guys, given it from when I was younger compared to now. Well, yeah, younger isn't like a year from now. It's like a couple months ago. My pendulum readings it didn't take that much of a toll on me compared to now, which takes a huge toll on me. And so like 5 to 6 questions. Actually, you guys will go to my Twitter. I have it that my pendulum readings are $25 for 5 to 6 questions, and then for about 10-15 it's like 40. So yeah, so I'll be making a website on my services as well. I'll be doing a lot of things actually, so stay tuned for a lot of things that will be happening. And I love you guys. My channel is TMNJ. My name is Taras. I'll be posting again my Twitter, Facebook, email, Instagram in the description below. So if you feel to contact me in any sort of way about anything, go ahead. Like about advice, especially advice about life coach, whatever the fuck, go ahead, and I'll answer you guys to the best of my ability. All right. So I love you guys. This is John A.